So you've finally gotten around to hiring a videographer slash video editor. Congratulations, you are now a step ahead of most everybody else that's out there. Yeah, I know a lot of people put video content out there, but very few people are actually doing it right. And so one of the things that I get asked out about a lot, because I used to do video work where I was like the actual videographer. I would go on site with people, bring my camera, shoot videos, and then I would edit them on the back end. And that was back in the heyday, right? Now I run an actual business and we run a content marketing agency, and I don't do any of that anymore because it's just not scalable on my end. But for you, if you're an influencer, somebody that is looking to do more video work where you don't have to set up the camera yourself, the question's always asked, what do I look for when I'm hiring a video editor slash videographer? What are the things I need to be aware of? Asking them on maybe an interview and filtering their skill sets and whatnot. These are things that a lot of people ask about because it's an art form. Like video work is an art form, and there are levels to it, right? So you can go from a level of a beginner, somebody that is just getting into videography and they know how to turn a camera on and hit record and maybe even plug in a lapel mic. And then you've got all the way to a Hollywood producer, right? So we're gonna be somewhere in between there. Somebody that's actually good with video. They know what they're doing, but now it's time to actually hire them and you're gonna use them to get maybe your YouTube videos filmed and whatnot. So I've got a few things that we're gonna talk about when it comes to what things to look for when hiring somebody in this position for you. So it's kind of funny. When I was writing these things down, I realized something, that there's only one point out of about 5 points that I have that really has anything to do with skill sets. When it comes to video work, a lot of times you're dealing with a creative, and creatives tend to have, how should I put it, a very low sense of urgency. They want to be perfectionists, they want to get things completely right, and they just don't meet deadlines. And this is something that, you know, a lot of times, even on my team, we have video editors. We have 5 video editors that we work with that are on our team, and I literally have a full-time person on my team, a manager that manages them. And this is one of the common issues that we have on a regular basis is video work not getting in on time, on deadlines. And so we give deadlines in advance, and really it's not due until here, but it gives us a little bit of extra buffer room to get stuff in. So that being said, point number 1 is punctual. Are they punctual? Are they somebody that's gonna show up on time? Are they going to, and I don't even believe on time. I'm the type of person, and philosophy is that if you're on time, that means you're late, but if you're 5 minutes ahead of time, then that means you're on time, right? So show up in advance, show up a 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, or whatever, and they get there. Are they punctual? Are they somebody that's there? And then while they're actually there with you, are they present? Are they somebody that is consistently giving you feedback? They're allowing you to ask questions along the way. Like if you say, do I look good, or is the mic good? Like, are they checking those things? That's punctuality included. And then also on the delivery. So after they're done shooting the videos with you, do they actually get you the video projects done on time? So one easy way to filter this is, obviously, when you have an interview with them, whether it's over Zoom or in person, I would recommend in person because then you get a real feel of what they're like. But when they're in person, I would say, hey, show up at 3:05 p.m. And if they walk in the building at 3:05, then they're late. But if they walk in at 2:55 or 3 o'clock, now you know, like, hey, they're actually there, they're on time, they're gonna be punctual, and ask them for that. And then make sure that they're participating throughout the meeting and whatnot. And that's how, you know, I would really recommend. It doesn't have to be 3:05. I mean, you could even say 2:55. That might even be better when you're asking them to come in for an interview, because then they'll show up at 2:50 and not 3 o'clock. So that's a really good way to filter punctuality. And then also, I would give them an assignment. So before you actually officially hire them, say, I have this raw video that I want produced, or even have them at the interview shoot a video of you. Tell them to bring their camera equipment and say, hey, during the interview, I'm gonna have you shoot a video with me, and I want you to get this done, edit it for me, and then send it back in X amount of days. Because now you're gonna gauge, are they actually gonna get you the project done on time, or are they gonna ask you a question and say, hey, this is a, you know, if you say, can you deliver this to me by tomorrow night? Then you'll realize, like, are they a good communicator as well? Are they punctual with communicating? Are they going to tell you, you know, I can do that, and you know, yeah, sure, I can get you that by tomorrow night? Or are they gonna be honest and say, tomorrow night might be a little tight, can I get it to you Wednesday night instead of Tuesday night? Now you know that they have a really good sense of their time and how long it takes to do specific projects. Punctuality is number 1 in my opinion. Number 2, are they hungry? This is something that you absolutely have to have in a videographer, because here's the thing, is that it always changes. And this kind of goes into my next point as well, which is innovative. Are they innovative? They are always willing to learn. So you could probably pair these two together, but these are important. Are they hungry? Are they somebody that's always gonna be ready to film videos with you? They're gonna be there and present with you. They're gonna be giving you feedback, and then also digging deeper, going the extra mile above and beyond. So for instance, if you realize that you're struggling with coming up with topics, are they gonna go out there and say, hey, I know the things you talk about. I don't fully understand real estate, but I was doing some research last night and I found some really good topics that you could, do videos on. That is a really good sign of a good videographer, somebody that's a little proactive on their end, that's gonna be, always giving you good feedback, and that's, a really good point to make. And inside of that point, I would even say, not necessarily are they a hustler, because I hate the word hustle, but along those lines, right? Are they a hard worker? Are they somebody that is hungry, somebody that's going to be like ready to go as soon as they get there? That's a really good filter as well. All right, third is something I already mentioned, but are they eager to learn and innovate what they're doing? In the world of video, stuff changes all the time, all the freaking time, and you have to be willing to adjust to those things. So the way a videographer shoots maybe their cinematography or something that they're working on as a special project for them, and they're gonna be a little bit more of a perfectionist, and they wanna get all the transitions right, all the color grading and all that stuff. Well, listen, that stuff doesn't always work on, say, social media or marketing videos or YouTube videos. They have to adapt to the platforms and learn those specific platforms in order to make contextual videos for the platforms. We've talked about that in a previous video of making contextual content for each platform, but that's a lot of work on the video person's job. It's like, are they actually shooting the videos correctly according to YouTube or according to Instagram, according to Facebook? Those are things that you need to give them and assign them to learn that stuff. You shouldn't have to worry about that. So be asking them those questions. Tell them, hey, what are some examples of some Instagram videos you've shot and done and produced? Can you send those to me? And then what about YouTube videos? I want to see some YouTube videos. And then now you have a little bit of a gauge on what kind of videos they know how to produce and edit, or what they don't know how to produce or edit. And so innovation is definitely something, a really big part of, obviously, like camera equipment changes all the time, new gear comes out and stuff like that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of videographers, like for me, for instance, I've got this camera, the EOS R, that I've had for 3 years, same lens, same mic for 3 years, and it works beautifully. It does the job. As you can tell, the picture on this video looks incredible, but on their part, are they like doing the things that they need to do in order to make themselves better, make their jobs better, and make their skills better? Point number 4, are they willing to take constructive criticism? This is a really big one. A lot of people struggle with this when it comes to video work, because they're artists. A videographer is really technically an artist. This is why Instagram was so big with video producers or photographers in the beginning, because that was a platform for them to be able to put their work out on, be proud of it and show it off, that kind of thing. A lot of videographers haven't gotten into the world of marketing videos. They've been in the world of like cinematography or creating videos that are very visually stunning. And a lot of them are really, really good at the craft, but they don't know marketing. And so when you come to the table and say, hey, you spent a little too much time on this video, I need you to dial it back a little bit. I had to tell my video guy to do this as well. He's an incredible videographer and does incredible work. And I've had to tell him to dial the editing back just a little bit, because that just doesn't work in the world of marketing and where my demographic is. So it's important for them to understand that, but take that criticism, because what you'll find is a lot of people will say, a lot of videographers will come hit you back and say, yeah, but why do I need to do that? Or they'll, give you a rebuttal, they'll make an excuse or something like that. And the way that they take that constructive criticism is going to be very, very vital to the length of how long they're going to be with you and be willing to work with you, and the quality of the work that they're ultimately going to be able to do. If they can take good constructive criticism, that's just going to make them better, and they need to realize that. But that's something to look out for. I know this early on in my career, there was a lot of influencers in the real estate industry, and there's even more now, quadruple what it was when I got in. And there was, I would work with a client, and they would say, hey, you should go check out this guy's channel and see what he's doing on his videos, because I think it would work for us. And I caught myself a couple times like, what does this guy know? Like, why is he telling me to go look at somebody else's? Why would I look at somebody else's work? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Are you not proud of my work? You don't like what I'm doing? And you have to get out of that phase. You've got to get out of the phase of taking that criticism to heart, and be willing to be open and learn what other people are doing to just make yourself better. And that's the thing that you gotta look for in a videographer. All right, last but certainly not least is the skill sets. So I don't expect you to understand fully what it takes to be a videographer, a video editor, or whatever, but there are some key things that they need to have a very good understanding of in skill set wise. So first things first is they gotta know Photoshop. This is where you're gonna create a lot of graphics, and I think that a lot of people think, you know, Photoshop is for graphic design and editing, but what they're gonna use Photoshop for is to create some of those assets that you need inside the videos. And I know a lot of, you know, like Premiere Pro, I use Premiere Pro and my whole team does, and Premiere's doing a really good job of integrating the two so you can actually create graphics inside of the program. So as long as they know graphic design well, because design does play heavily into, especially when a lower third comes up, say for instance, like my name pops up on the bottom of the screen, does it look good, is it branded well? Like that is something that's vital to the editing process. And so they need to know Photoshop, they definitely need to know their video editing software, whether that's Final Cut Pro, and I would ask them that, or do you use Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro? Those are the two big ones. If they're using iMovie, they're probably not as skilled as you might think they are, needless to say. So those are the two big ones, is Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro. So if they're using those two, ask them what their skill sets look like and allow them to kind of elaborate on that. I would even ask them, do you know anything about marketing? Do you know anything about what it takes to create a good YouTube marketing video or a good Facebook marketing video? And allow them to kind of riff on that. And here's the thing, don't not hire them because they don't know marketing. This is where innovation and eager to learn is a big key, because they need to be willing to learn that stuff along the way. So I would even, you know, go as far as to like having you train them underneath that, and as long as they're open to that, it's a great person, because now they haven't been exposed to the wrong type of marketing, right? So that's a really big piece, but skill sets is vital. You know, obviously, you know, they need to understand camera work, they need to understand lighting, and you know, when you look at the videos after they produce it, does the lighting look good? Is your face dark? You know, I wear hats and there's a light directly underneath or above me, so I gotta make sure my video guy gets the, you know, the shadows out as best as possible. Is the image clear? Audio mic sound good? Like, and here's the thing, video guys are gonna make mistakes. There's been a couple videos that we've put out there, and I've done this many times, and I told my video guy, don't worry about this, but several of the videos that we had put out didn't have a mic plugged in. Like I was literally talking to the camera and the audio sounds very hollow, but it was great content, so I still wanted to put it out. But that stuff's gonna happen, so be patient with that. Just make sure that they know, like, get that right next time. So those are the things that I've got in terms of hiring a good videographer slash video editor. There might be a few other things down the road that I might address with that, but I know it's a question a lot of people have, especially those of you getting into being an influencer and you wanna have a video person on your team. If you have any questions, I do have several links down in the description below on how to connect with me and contact me, so make sure you hit those up, and I'd be happy to hop on a call with you or whatever to help guide you more on this path. So if this brought you value, I would appreciate a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.